This is QTV News. I am Marietu Sidibe and thanks for joining us. First, the main local, business, international and sports news headlines. In local news, members of the 3 years Jotna movement are granted bail following the latest hearing of their case in the High Court. President Barrow presides over an additional $12 million loan agreement signing ceremony between the Gambia and the Saudi Fund for Development. A witness tells the TTRC of his alleged torture and electrocution because of his party political allegiance. In business news, the Senegalo-Gambia network of women entrepreneurship and leaders recently showcased Senegambia Day during a trade fair in Senegal. And the coronavirus disease outbreak is having a serious effect on China's and the world's businesses. In international news, 274 migrants rescued in the Mediterranean, among them some Gambians, have been allowed to land on Italian soil. And, to no one's surprise, Togo's president has won a 4th term in office following last weekend's presidential election. And now, the local news in detail. The High Court of the Gambia on Monday granted bail to the 8 accused executive members of the 3 years Jotna movement. As part of the bail conditions, each of the accused is required to deposit to the registrar of the High Court a sum of $200,000, their travel documents, and also produce 2 Gambian sureties with national identity cards. The case is adjourned to the 25th of March for trial, when the accused will be expected to enter the pleas to the charges against them. In a surprise move, before the ruling on the bail application, the state councils withdrew the 3rd charge against the accused in relation to being unlawfully involved in demolishing structures. At the State House in Banjul, on Monday, President Barrow presides over an additional $12 million loan agreement signing ceremony between the Gambia and the Saudi Fund for Development for the completion of the rehabilitation and development of the Banjul International Airport project, Phase 2. Aliou Cisse reports.
The airport rehabilitation and development is part of preparations for the hosting of the Islamic Summit in 2022. The new $12 million loan agreement signing ceremony, which took place at the State House in Banjul and was witnessed by President Adama Barrow, saw the Gambia's Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, Mambouri Njie, sign on behalf of the Gambia. The chairman of the Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa, Yusuf Al-Bassam, who also doubles as the advisor to the managing director of the Saudi Fund, praises the relationship between the Gambia and Saudi Arabia.
My visit to Gambia, it comes with excellent relation between Saudi Arabia and Gambia, and its main purpose is to sign additional loan agreement to finance the airport of Gambia. And it has been witnessed by the President, and during the meeting I convey regards of the custodian of 2 Holy Mosques and Royal Highness the Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and express our satisfaction to the excellent relation exists between two countries, and especially the partnership with the Saudi Fund for Development, and also the relation with Badia. We assured His Excellency the full support.
The Gambia, the smallest country on mainland Africa, is embarking on several infrastructural developments as it prepares to meet with deadline for the hosting of the world leaders for the summit. The projects include the already inaugurated Sadauda Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center and the road expansion project set to commence soon. The Gambia's right to host the event last year, so it moved to Jeddah in Saudi Arabia as the infrastructure was not in place, and will now host the event in 2 years' time. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
Lamin Job, a member of the United Democratic Party and employee of the Gambia Ports Authority, on Monday alleged he was severely tortured and electrocuted on his private parts by the NIA in 2002. He made the allegation while testifying at the ongoing TTRC public proceedings. QTV's Ansumana Isonyasi reports.
Appearing before the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission, Lamin Job a resident of Banjul and member of the United Democratic Party, Monday testified on his alleged arrest, detention and torture at the NIA headquarters in Banjul. In his testimony, the witness told the commission he was arrested in 2002 following a scuffle with members of the police intervention unit after they attempted to forcefully stop a UDP rally, claiming they received instructions from State House. He went on to testify that he was arrested with 5 others and taken to the NIA headquarters in Banjul. There, he alleged they were subjected to interrogations, severely tortured, and detained under harsh conditions. The witness alleged he sustained severe injuries on his body and showed commissioners what appeared to be scars from his alleged torture.
After beating me up, at that time there were some cigarette packets that were placed on the table there. I sat on the floor again. They told me to stretch my legs. I stretched my legs. So after they smoke their cigarettes, they will put off the cigarette butt on my legs.
The witness, who was a staff of the Gambia Post Authority, told the commission that he was targeted by the former managing director of the Gambia Post Authority, Mohamed Lamin Jiba, for openly professing support for the UDP. As a result, he was arrested by the NIA and mercilessly tortured.
They electrocuted you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. You lost your manhood as a result.
Yeah.
Up to date. Your wife left you.
Yeah.
Yes, my wife left.
Furthermore, the witness told the commission that after being detained at the NIA in Comunicado for 2 weeks, he was transferred to the remand wing at Mile 2 prison, where he was detained for 2 months and released. He submitted a certificate of expiration of term of prison to the commission, which was issued to him by the prison administration, indicating that he had completed his prison sentence. However, the witness alleged he was never charged, nor was he sentenced for any crime, and that he only served 2 months in detention and not 6 months as indicated on the certificate. Ansman Eso Nyasi for QTV News.
Sibek International School emerged in second place out of 20 schools that took part in a 2-day robotics science competition held in Austin, Texas. Our reporter Bintu Koka went to meet the returning delegation at the Banjul International Airport.
The Robotics Hub, in collaboration with the Ministry of Higher Education, sent the team to participate in the Robotics International Festival in America. The 3 students, Abdul Karim Demba, Malik Jame, Abdullah Njai, and their escort teacher Hassan Silla arrived at Banjul International Airport on Sunday evening to a rousing welcome from teachers, family members, and well-wishers. The students were trained through a Robotics Hub association, which also led a team that won the Pan-African Robotics competition last year in Ghana. Hassan Silla, a physics teacher and IT manager at Sibek International, says although they pulled through, it was a big task for the kids as they had little time to work on what was presented to them.
When we went to Texas to compete in the first International Robotics Festival, we were the only team that didn't even have an idea of what the competition was about. So we were there and other teams had about 2 weeks to prepare to build their robots and to program their robots. So, but when we got to the day of the game itself, when they gave us the material, the kids were a bit nervous. But then, I looked at it, I said to them, these kids are not better than you. You are more smarter than them. You can do it.
Mr. Silla, who is also the president of the Robotics Hub, further speaks about the challenges they face as an association.
To different types of kits to train the kids, the children rather, because they have different levels. For now, the kids that we are having at the hub, they're a bit for a higher level. So, but now that our trip to Texas or America made it easier for us to at least try to establish this partnership with institutions that are building kits that can be used at a lower level.
Abdul Karim Demba, a student at Sibek and one of the silver medal winners, calls on his fellow students to participate in extracurricular activities such as robotics.
Second, and then we were able to make a robot in 4 hours when other people had been practicing for 2 weeks. But we were still able to beat all of them and get second. Start trying in school and start listening to their teachers so that we can be better and can start representing our country.
The Robotics Hub is an organization promoting science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education through robotics and has been sending teams to represent the country in international competitions. Bintu Koka, QTV News.
The government of the Gambia, through the Ministry of Agriculture, has commenced distributing machinery to farmers in North Bank and Lower River region. Babukar C is with the delegation and he files in this report.
The first beneficiaries to receive farming implements among the 21 villages in North Bank region are Fas Njagachoy, Medina Seringmas and Pakaunjogu. The donated machineries include power tillers, milling machines, among others. The ministry officials says the materials were requested by farmers during President Barrow's Meet the People's tour. In Fas Njagachoy, the delegation was received by the district chief and the alcalo. Accompanying the Minister of Agriculture was Ibrahim Silla, Minister for Information, Communication, Infrastructure.
Handing over of a machine that is actually used to grind different types of seeds. My understanding is that over the years, the people of this community used to depend on Senegal or the Senegalese providers, and those who could not afford money, they would take part of their cereals and pay for some of those services. Now the government of the Gambia has provided this machinery and equipment to the local communities, and I think it will be a great opportunity to add value to what is already happening here. And as part of the food, self-sufficiency that we have been talking about, this will add a great value to that. And that is why we are here, so that we can continue as part of our ministry's efforts to create visibility for all these efforts that the government of the Gambia is doing.
Maimuna Ndur, the women representative of the area, thanked the ministers and the President of the Republic for providing them with the much-needed farm equipment.
The women of Fas Njagachoy are behind Ami Fabure. Even if we are going to die for President Barrow, it will be because of Ami Fabure.
The Minister for Agriculture, Ami Fabure, assured the people of North Bank of government support, saying that the welfare of Gambian farmers is very important to President Barrow. She added that the milling machines, power tillers and other equipment will go a long way in improving agricultural value chain in the country through mechanized farming.
I would like to tell the village head and the chief that this is just the beginning and there is a lot more in the pipeline.
Distribution of equipment in the region is being headed by the governor of the region, Honorable Ibrahim K. Damfa, who called on residents to be ready to work both in the rainy and dry season. The governor added, aims to develop agriculture to be a 12-month activity countrywide. A similar donation of farm machineries were made in Medina Serimas and Pakaunjogu. The villagers also pleaded with the minister to provide them with boreholes and proper fencing for their village gardens. They added that early arrival of seeds and fertilizers before the beginning of the rainy season will be appreciated. Babu Karsi, QTV News.
We will go with a short commercial break, and when we come back, in business news, we hear how the Senegalo-Gambia network of women entrepreneurship and leaders recently showcased Senegambia Day at an international trade fair in Senegal.
Oh yes! QCell has exhausted the number 3 series, the 50, 51, 52 and 53 number series. We are expanding and introducing another new number series starting with 58 and 59. With the 58 and 59 numbers, you can call any QCell number for the same on-net charges. You get the same great service at the exact same charges offered to numbers in the 3, 50, 51, 52 and 53 series. The family is even bigger now. For more information, call customer care on 111. QCell, we innovate, others follow. Right time, right place, right price. Promote your product, business, and brand to millions of viewers nationwide or across the globe. Call QTV Marketing on 32-44444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm for all your advertisement needs. QTV Gambia, right place.
Welcome back. And now on to the business news. The Senegalo-Gambia network of women entrepreneurship and leaders recently showcased Senegambia Day during a 2-week international trade fair held at Kaolack in Senegal. This story is by Lamin Dabo and narrated by Jainaba Sonko.
The event engages members of the Senegalo-Gambia network of women entrepreneurship and leaders to help them improve their networking skills and to also elevate their capacities. This will allow them to better participate in the diverse economic sectors and thus contribute significantly to the socio-economic development of the Gambia and Senegal. The president of the Gambia chapter of the association, Ajaratu Adulet C, explains their expectations at the end of the trade fair.
We are hoping to get the spirit of entrepreneurship, the spirit of togetherness, the spirit of neighborhood, the spirit of family ties between the Gambia and Senegal, the spirit of partnership, the spirit of getting all the border crossings and the barriers, breaking down all the barriers between the Gambia and Senegal, breaking down all the barriers between the West African states, ECOWAS states, and Africa in Gambia and Senegal in particular, but Africa in general. We hope to achieve or be part of the process of the intercontinental free trade zones. We want to be part of the process of a successful trade in Africa.
The president of the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Idrissa Mas Job, calls on entrepreneurs to be steadfast in their journey towards the attainment of their objectives.
Whether you are a woman business person or a man, your force is to try to improve the excellence of what you do and also improve the quality of what you sell. But irrespective of that, the real problems of intra-African trade actually are the politicians. It's not the women. So whether they are men, women, young or old, it is our collective responsibility as business persons, as commercial people, to try to lobby our governments to be committed to the politics of what they have signed. I mean, all these protocols, whether it's ECOWAS, whether it's the Africa Continental Free Trade, they were not signed by business people. They were signed by politicians.
The Gambia's Women's Affairs Minister, Fatou Kinte, shed light on the significance of the trade fair, which she describes as an opportunity, especially for the Gambian women entrepreneurs.
The network coming together is an avenue of Gambian women and learning more skills from the Senegalese. It's another way of exposing our Gambians to a bigger market, because this trade fair that has been organized for a week, which included the training and also the symposium. The trade fair is a way of Gambian women be exposed to a bigger market, and then there they can also link up with people from other countries and also even in the diaspora. That way, they can they can be able to sell their produce to people not only in the Gambia but out of the Gambia.
The Senegalo-Gambia Network of Entrepreneurs and Women Leaders is a registered NGO set up in October 2017, comprising women entrepreneurs from Senegal and the Gambia, committed to working together to foster trade between the two countries and support the economic empowerment of women and youth. Some of the objectives of the network include the creation of business linkages, enhancement of entrepreneurship skills through training, advocacy for women, development, supporting communities, amongst others. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jennifer Sonko.
China's economy has been paralyzed for the past 8 weeks due to the coronavirus outbreak. Although some workers have returned, production is at a standstill, complicated by travel and health security restrictions. There are even fears that foreign companies will leave China if things don't improve soon. In Beijing and Shanghai, 20 million people are on lockdown, 5 million cars are off the roads, hotels, restaurants, cinemas, and offices are either completely shut or running with the minimum number of staff required to keep them functioning. Not only is China the world's second largest economy, it is a major market for imports and also exports to the rest of the world. As such, the impact of COVID-19 is likely to be felt around the world. A prominent German businessman based in China says there is no second China to take up the gap caused by China's troubles. In international news, last week we reported on the ship Ocean Viking, which is on a mission to rescue migrants stranded in the Mediterranean Sea. This week, Italian authorities have agreed to allow the rescued migrants to land on Italian soil. 274 migrants who were picked up off the coast of Libya by the rescue ship Ocean Viking have been given the go-ahead to disembark in Italy. Although the Italian authorities accept the likelihood of these migrants carrying COVID-19 is low, they are taking no chances. Those rescued will remain in quarantine on the mainland for at least another 14 days before being allowed to proceed. There have been 3 deaths recorded in Italy, and several towns in Italy are now on lockdown following 2 deaths and 100 cases being identified. Unsurprisingly, the rescued migrants were jubilant on receiving the news that they would be allowed ashore. Also in international news, in Togo, incumbent candidate for Nyasembe has won his 4th presidential term. However, before the official results were announced, both the president and his main challenger, Agbeyome Kojo, had previously declared victory. There were raised eyebrows when, on Saturday, Kojo had claimed a true landslide victory for himself and made accusations of widespread election fraud. He went on to say, considering the revelations of fraud which marked this ballot, it is impossible for the outgoing candidate to be elected in the first round on Saturday when 60% of votes had been counted. I have the conviction that in the coming week I will lead this country, he had said. However, the result announced on Monday gave the incumbent a 72% share of the vote, with his opponent shown as having polled just 18%. Nyasembe took over in 2005 from his father, who had ruled this West African nation for 38 years. Allegations of fraud have been fueled after the sacking of 500 election monitors and the last-minute cancellation of an electronic system for vote counting. Votes were instead counted manually. Here with some sports news is my colleague Momode Gajaga. Gajaga, what do you have for us today?
Thank you very much, Mariatu. We're going to start home. Gambian midfielder Aliou Dabo has signed for Qatari's second division side Al Bida and based in Al Bida district of Doha. In an exclusive interview with Aliou Cisse, the player expresses delight after joining the club.
Aliou Dabo was part of the Gambian national under-17 football team that participated in the 2009 FIFA Under-17 World Cup in Nigeria. He played in all 3 of the Young Scorpions games in the tournament, loses to Iran and the Netherlands before a 2-2 draw with Colombia. In June 2012, aged 19, Dabo was included in the matchday squad for the senior national team's FIFA 2014 World Cup qualifiers against Morocco. He was an unused substitute in that game. Dabo started his career in Sweden, where he was born to Gambian parents, before he moved abroad to France for Le Mans FC, where he was a member of the club's under-19 team in 2010. In England, Dabo went for trials with Sunderland and their near neighbours Newcastle United in 2012. The UK's Daily Mail later reported that he had signed a 3-year contract with Wigan Athletic, then in the English Premier League, in June 2012. This was later refuted by the club, who alleged the supposed signing was made by the player himself. Speaking to QTV, Dabo said he was happy to have found a new club in the Gulf State, where a few Gambian footballers, including Tijan Jaita, had played before.
I'm happy, my family is happy, so I'm relaxed, everything has gone very smoothly, so I'm happy to be here. What I'm expecting from the new club, basically when I got the call, it was a very good offer financially. Basically I'm not 21 or 22 years anymore, I'll be 28 this year, so it was a good financial move to secure my future, for my kids as well. The league is growing. You have seen Xavi, players like Raul have been here. Even Tijan Jaita was here not long ago. So it's a league which is very strong financially. So I'm happy to be here. what the club can expect from me. A lot of creativity. People who have seen me play, they know I'm very skillful, and the club can expect a lot of assists from me, a lot of creativity up front.
Al-Bida was officially granted club status by the Qatari Football Association, allowing it to participate in the 2018-2019 season in the Qatari Second Division. With regards to his future with the Gambia national team, Dabo has this to say.
So I think for now there's no future. To be honest, I don't have any contact with the national team. I follow it online sometimes, like all of you. I wish them the best. I have many friends there, but I don't see myself playing for the Gambia. I don't have the motivation or so to play for the Gambia. They have very good players, young players, and I think they should focus on them and build a good national team with them, to be honest. What I want to say to my fans is thank you for all the support you've given me. Keep supporting me. I'm very, very happy. I'm very grateful. Gambian fans are very loyal and very kind. And I'm very happy for all the support I get from them, even though I haven't been in the national team for some time now. I'm always happy to see their messages, and it always warms my heart, so thank you very much.
Dabo is the latest Gambian player after Ibrahima Sona and Hassan Cisse, among others, to have recently moved to a new club. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
The coronavirus fears in Italy has caused the cancellation of 4 fixtures on Sunday. And some of the fixtures that were affected were Torino, who were supposed to play against Parma, Verona were supposed to play against Cagliari, and Atalanta also supposed to play against Sassuolo. All were matches which were suspended on Sunday, and these were matches scheduled to be played. According to an announcement by Italian Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte, they said they've made this decision because of the fears over the spread of the coronavirus, which, as far as the latest updates are concerned, more than 200 people are infected with the virus in Italy and about 6 deaths. Still on some of the international sports news, former CAF Secretary General Amar Fahmy dies after illness. Former Confederation of African Football General Secretary Amar Fahmy died at the age of 37 after 2 years battling with illness. And the Egyptian served as General Secretary of the Confederation of African Football between November 2017 and April 2019, when he was removed from his office without explanation. CAF released a statement calling his death as shocking and saying they extend their deepest condolences to his family, especially his parents and his spouse and also his daughter. These are some of the latest sports news that we have for you. Back to you, Mariatu.
Thank you, Gajaga. Before we end this bulletin, let's take a quick look at our main stories. In local news, members of the 3 years Jotna movement are granted bail following the latest hearing of their case in the High Court. President Barrow presides over an additional $12 million loan agreement signing ceremony between the Gambia and the Saudi Fund for Development. A witness tells the TRRC of his alleged torture and electrocution because of his party political allegiance. In business news, the Senegalo-Gambia network of women entrepreneurship and leaders recently showcased Senegambia Day during a trade fair in Senegal. And the coronavirus disease outbreak is having a serious effect on China's and the world's businesses. In international news, 274 migrants rescued in the Mediterranean, among them some Gambians, have been allowed to land on Italian soil. And to no one's surprise, Togo's president has won a 4th term in office following last weekend's presidential election. That's all we have for you in this edition of the news. Join us tomorrow for more news. Thank you for watching.